Hello, Amelia Hirschfield here. I am an entrepreneur and a mentor who believes that so much of getting the life that you want, getting all those things that you are longing for deep down, things you maybe aren't thinking are possible for you, how how to achieve that is by changing the inner game and then watching as the outer world changes as well. And I've got my girl Naya in the corner here. She might be moving, but she seems to be pretty out right now. So today we get to talk about what it's like after you've raised your standards. And so this isn't going to be talking about how to raise your standards. This is talking about your standards have raised, then what happens? Because the challenge when you raise your standards is that it's not like life all of a sudden is great because you've raised your standards, but your life is still the same as the old you. So what do I mean by that is if you've been existing in a way that you've been tolerating certain things and then all of a sudden you're like, this isn't working for me. I literally can't do this anymore. Like, this is irritating the shit out of me. Like, I literally cannot stand this anymore. These behaviors, how people are reacting, it's just not like, I just can't do this anymore. You have to learn a different way of existing, a different way of how to express those standards, how to be in a way that the standards can exist with everything going on around you, your business relationships, your personal relationships, your relationships with your dog, your relationships with your family members. Because I think a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to raise my standards and then life is going to be perfect and it'll just click after that. But there's actually a period of you've raised your standards, but at the same time, there's still things to learn until you clean up all of that old stuff that you have just been tolerating, and the old unhealthy behaviors that haven't been working for you. You have to clean those up as the you with the new standards. So it can be really uncomfortable, can be really frustrating because you're like, this isn't working for me anymore. And I still have to deal with this because it's still happening in your life. So it's a process of expressing that, learning how to express that in the right way that people can understand, but it's not in a space of being angry. So telling business partners like, hey, this isn't working for me anymore. Can you do this instead? Or telling people like, when you say this, that isn't working for me, or that hurts when you say that. So learning how to express yourself in the ways that addresses your new standards, because people are used to that old you. And then all of a sudden you show up with these new standards and you're like, why do I have this conflict in my life? So it can be unsettling for a while until you get those waves straightened out. And I'm in the process of that right now. My standards have raised again. And so I'm in the process of clearing out some old business relationships that aren't working, dealing with a couple things with my tenants that I've just been tolerating. And then it's like, all of a sudden I can't do this anymore. And when I say I can't do this anymore, it's kind of like you're hearing a song and you're hearing a song and you're hearing a song for so many times. And then all of a sudden you listen to it and you're like, oh, those lyrics that I thought were this are actually totally different. And they're these lyrics instead. So it's like, why didn't I hear that before? Why didn't I see that before? You just start seeing the world a little differently. And so that's one way that you know that you've changed your standards. And it also requires a sense of like, I can't tolerate this anymore. This isn't working for me, or like, I can't go back there. I can't keep doing those patterns that I was doing before because it's too painful. You're like, I would rather be here in the new space, changing how I'm talking to people, addressing what I need differently, rather than going back and just keep existing in those unhealthy patterns that I was doing before, because you may be having those unhealthy patterns, but at the same time, you're going to have to clear some of those unhealthy patterns out from the relationships that you have. And some people will want to grow with you, and some people just can't do that in the space. And I always find this a little nerve-wracking because I'm like, who am I going to lose? Am I going to piss this person off? How do I say this in a way that isn't going to have them be really upset with me or sabotage the relationship or turn this into a catastrophe? So it can be a little strange to navigate, which is why I always work with a mentor, because I'm like, I need help navigating this, because if you find that you're doing this from a space without having help kind of figuring out who's the new you, what are the new standards, and how are you going to let people know that, then you can just be like, this isn't working, not saying anything, and then just blowing up and not giving the relationship a chance, not giving the people opportunities to grow with you. You just might be like, I can't do this anymore. We are absolutely done. And trying to find then new people, new friends, new business associates. And that might be necessary in a couple places, but if you're not telling people your new standards and just expecting them to change, then that's on you. Like, people can't read your mind. So navigating new standards is really, it can be unsettling for a while. So if you're in that space and you're feeling that, it's definitely not odd, or it's not strange. It's just part of the process, because you are different, but you're living in the life that the old you was tolerating and existing. So how can you get that new standard, those new standards that you're asking for, in your life now? So even if it's like changing relationships with your dog, like my relationships with my dog have changed, my relationship with my partner has changed, my relationship with certain like business associates have changed, my tenants have changed. It's just my standards and everything lifts. And as that lifts, my life grows with me as well. So that means I'm tolerating less shit. I'm spending less time making excuses for people. I'm way more powerful because I'm not tolerating people's unhealthy behaviors, but I'm giving them a chance to grow. And when they're not doing that, I'm doing something about that, rather than just having them walk all over me and go like, oh, I'm a nice person, this is okay. Or making excuses for their behavior, or saying, oh, they've got a baby on the way, they can't pay their rent, this is fine. Or, oh, my social media partner is having health complications, so this is okay just to tolerate for a while, and watching the social media reach drop every month substantially. So you clear that out, so it gives your business an easier space to exist. It gives you less chaos and less drama that you have to tolerate. And then everything in your life just gets a lot simpler and a lot easier and a lot better, because you've changed and your standards have changed. And at the same time, you know how to express that to the people around you, which is a really important part of this. Because like I said, you can tolerate stuff, which makes it even worse, and then blow up. So if you are over the space of, I'm tolerating this, I've just been dealing with this, I'm ready to raise the standards and see all the beautiful things, and having the right help navigating that, because I know how to navigate this. I've done this many times. Let's have a quick chat. Let's see where you're at. I would love to help you navigate this, because it's really important for you, for your business relationships, so you're not creating extra work for yourself, because that's something that can cause if you don't do this in the right way. So would love to help you. Like I said, my website's ameliaharshfield.com. There's a connect page. Click on that and fill out the form, and we will have a quick chat, and I'll see what options there are for you. The easiest one is one-on-one work that gets you going the quickest, that gets you over this the quickest, and gets you to a more stable place, that your standards can be really solidified. So we help clear out the chaos and help you own this really beautiful, stable, firm place of what your standards are. So, yep, cool. I think that's it. And I will see you on the next video. Keep working on your standards. It's really important, really fun, and one of the most critical places to change in your life, because if you're just tolerating stuff, you might be really frustrated about it and you're not aware of it. And then the pain might be showing up in places in your body. And how I got to what I'm clearing out right now is I was realizing I was holding a lot of tension in my jaw, got in touch with that, figured out what was going on. So for me, it was the hurt. I was just experiencing a lot of hurt that people were like, I'm out here busting my ass and trying my hardest to be positive. I'm trying to find solutions. I'm looking for what I can doing better, and other people just aren't doing that. And I was just like, fuck this. I can't keep doing this. Like, this is too painful for me to deal with. It's literally causing my jaw. And since then, my jaw has not been as tight at all. So you might be tolerating it in certain ways in your body that when you clear that out, your body changes as well. So cool. I will see you in the next video.